Hi guys. Okay, so we're going to be continuing reading starting in chapter 12 of Psych-K, The Missing Piece in Your Life. I'm just going to jump in right here. I am also simultaneously streaming on Bigo Live, so if in the future you're like, oh, I want to be on the live stream, just, follow me on Bigo Live. My name is Kelly Saunders, and, just have them alert you to when my next stream is, and there you go. All right, otherwise I'm going to just jump in here. Okay, chapter 12. It's just the beginning. Everything is perfect, but there's a lot of room for improvement. Shunryu Suzuki. Where do you go from here? It's your choice. You can put this book on a shelf with all the other self-help books you've read and move on to the next one, hoping once again that the answers you seek are in the next book you'll read. Or you can learn how to put what you read here into action and make real and lasting changes in your life now. Albert Einstein summed it up when he said, "Knowledge is experience. Everything else is just information." In the introduction to this book, I gave you the example of trying to learn how to swim by reading a book versus getting in the water and experiencing it. Well, for those readers who are ready to take the plunge, here is a description of the course content for the basic and advanced Psych-K workshops offered nationally and internationally. The latest descriptions may be found on the Psych-K website at www.psych-k.com. I will pause right here. I noticed during this book, there is some really good information in this book. However, I do find that the writer is constantly peddling come to our workshop. You have to do it in person. And I will say I watched a couple of how-to videos from Robert M. Williams, who's the writer of this book. He gives presentations, and some of those videotape presentations are on YouTube, and you can kind of see firsthand how he goes about it. I can understand why he would suggest going to do this in person. However, I don't think it's realistic that everyone interested in what he's offering can afford to go to a workshop, especially right now when most of us are forced to quarantine, But if you are interested in this, and I don't know how this book is going to end, if it's going to give us all the information that we want, but if you are still interested in that, I do just want to mention the YouTube videos because it might give you an answer to something you were wondering that, you didn't know before. So there is that. Okay, jumping back in. The Psych-K Basic Workshop. The Basic Workshop is taught in a 2-day format, usually on a weekend. It provides participants with the foundational skills to communicate directly with their subconscious and superconscious minds. This communication is the first step in changing self-sabotaging beliefs. The second step is to learn and apply whole brain integration techniques to make the desired changes. You will experience and learn how to facilitate 2 belief change processes called balances. The balances can be used to internalize whatever beliefs you choose to accomplish your goals and enhance your life. Participants will be provided with a list of 175 beliefs in 7 categories of change as examples of areas of your life you may want to improve. Spirituality. Release subconscious resistance to experiencing your connection with divinity. Self-esteem. Discover beliefs that can help you to deeply appreciate and accept yourself. Health/body. Reduce emotional stress and reprogram your body/mind for optimal health and vitality. Relationships. Create beliefs that support you in having healthy, loving relationships. Prosperity. Replace old attitudes about money and increase your propensity for prosperity. Grief/loss. Resolve painful memories and find greater peace and happiness through forgiveness and letting go of pain and trauma from the past. Personal power. Increase your self-confidence and willingness to take positive and decisive action in your life. Plus, learn how to create your own personal belief statements to meet specific challenges in your life and how to define your goals in a way that is clear and compelling to the subconscious mind. The Advanced Psych-K Integration Workshop. The Basic Psych-K Workshop is a prerequisite for the Advanced Workshop, which is a 4-day event. It takes participants to a new level of interaction with the subconscious and superconscious minds. It is appropriate for individuals who are ready to make sweeping changes in their lives. Course content includes core belief balance. This process aligns 13 core beliefs that support the manifestation of our full potential in life. It is a general clearing process and prepares the mind/body system for accelerated change. Oh, thanks, Ree. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Life bonding balance. The trauma of birth and the fear of death are two powerful aspects of human existence that can limit your happiness in life. This process utilizes breath as a means of reprogramming the negative impact of these influences. By directing the breath back and forth between two ancient power points in the body, you will learn to release stress associated with these experiences and free yourself to experience the fullness and joy of life. Relationship balance. This experience will help you heal personal issues with others as you better understand the lessons to be learned in the relationship. It will provide a clearer perspective on the value of relationships between parents and children, siblings, coworkers, spouses, friends, and lovers. Oh, good, I'm glad. Belief points. You will learn 12 energy points on the body that are derived from ancient Chinese medicine. These energy points affect the physical body as well as the mental/emotional body. They represent key beliefs that give us valuable information about how we are limiting ourselves in our given situation. These points make subconscious beliefs easy to access and easy to change. Energy focusing. A process that allows you to focus energy to a point on the body in order to change the energy at a belief point or to correct energy imbalances in yourself and others. Surrogate balancing. This technique uses a surrogate, substitute person, for muscle testing and balancing someone else. This approach can be used with or without the recipient being physically present. It can even be used with pets. Rapport. You will learn how to create a deep sense of trust and safety with others by using psych-k balances that will enable you to communicate more effectively, both verbally and non-verbally. Oh, thanks, Riri. Healing energy circle. This extraordinary experience utilizes group energy focusing. It is your opportunity to feel the powerful effects of concentrated, unconditional love. What people are saying about the workshops. Here are some comments from psych-k workshop participants expressing the life-changing quality of their experiences. At last, an effective, scientifically proven way to reprogram my subconscious with beliefs that resonate with me and support my dreams and goals in a healthy fashion. Jean Gawley, business owner/executive from New York City. Love the practicality of this work. Love the fast and easy way it works to resolve lifelong issues. Susan Majins, seminar leader, organizational trainer, Potter Valley, California. I believe that this is the other aspect of energy medicine that is the wave of the future. Yvonne Tyson, MD, Long Beach, California. I find psych-k to be an efficient, fast, simple tool to use to redirect my life in a more positive and prosperous way. Psych-k is not only an effective tool for myself, but also with others. Okay, we have a few more. I'm not going to read them all. They're just like nice things. Like I can tell that they're trying to sell you the program. And I will say that's one of probably the most disappointing things about this book is that they haven't given you a lot of like applicable stuff to like take with you to do at home. There's a few things where it's like talking about how you can visualize certain things. Let's say you do the muscle testing work, which you can find on YouTube as a great example of how to do it. And you see, oh, I have a difficulty in my believing that I deserve happiness. He talks a little bit, the author, about how you can visualize your issue. You can, muscle test, asking your subconscious it's okay to go in there and change this belief. That's a weird part of it, but that's how they describe it. He recommends getting permission from your subconscious, which I think is so weird, but okay. Let's try it. And then he says to basically visualize what you are trying to change. And so let's say your thing is, I don't believe I deserve happiness. He says, go into your mind, say, I deserve happiness, and any kind of negative like thought, maybe you have a memory, maybe you have just like a gross feeling, let those memories and gross feelings come in, and almost like you're talking to a class of these things, you basically say what you want to believe to these negative voices in your head, okay? This is how he has described it, and he says to keep doing this until you feel a noticeable change in how you're feeling. It's very vague, okay, and honestly, he does talk about this in the book. This was also explained a little bit better in some of the videos on YouTube where he actually goes during the conference and like helps a lady work through something. I recommend looking at those videos. They're interesting. And it may be that these workshops have so much more in helping people, get to where they want to be. It's just a little bit annoying to me that, like, you pay money for this book and the answers are only, like, slightly touched on. You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm going to continue reading. The next step is up to you. I invite you to discover your innate potential and expand your possibilities. Visit the instructors page on the website at www.psych-k.com for specific information about workshops and private sessions in your area. Great, okay. Afterward, psych-k in the big picture. Always stay in your own movie, Ken Kesey. Have you noticed that life seems to be speeding up a little? Okay, a lot. So have I. What's going on? There are many theories ranging from the mundane to the cosmic. The mundane explanations range from hectic lifestyle choices to we just live in a more complicated world these days. While these ideas are simple observations of current reality, they seem insufficient when it comes to understanding the nagging feeling that the faster we try to go, the behinder we get. With all the high-tech, time-saving devices we possess in today's world, where does the time go that we're supposedly saving? Information processing may be an important factor in understanding this phenomenon. It is estimated that the sum total of human knowledge is doubling every 18 months, and as time passes, that number decreases, while the amount of knowledge increases. In other words, more and more information is being added to the equation of life in shorter and shorter periods of time. An experiment reported by Robert A. Wilson in his book Cosmic Trigger may shed some light on where things are headed. Here's the gist of his story. A small group of computer scientists from Stanford University were interested in the increasing technological developments and scientific knowledge being created at an ever-accelerating rate. So they created a computer program and chronologically plotted the great technological and scientific discoveries in the world, starting at the beginning of urbanization around 4000 to 5000 BCE. They included pivotal inventions and discoveries such as the wheel, the printing press, the steam engine, the splitting of the atom, and computers. They asked the program to project into the future and predict great discoveries yet to be made. Oh, thank you, ID 432782640. After 1975, the projected pattern of discovery took a sudden upturn and went off the computer graph at the year 2011, at which point the computer's predictions ended. Amazingly, the predictions showed 18 discoveries equivalent in a magnitude to the splitting of the atom in the last 30 minutes of the year 2010. If you think the atomic age has complicated our lives, just imagine the mind-boggling consequences of 18 such discoveries occurring all at once. There is a fascinating correlation here. Even though this computer was making predictions in 1985 at Stanford University, a much older computer, in the guise of the ancient Mayan calendar, dating back nearly 1700 years, made another prediction along with these same lines. Their calendar also ends in the year 2011, 2012 by some calculations. According to the Mayans, this date is the end of what they called the fifth age of man, the age of intellect, and the beginning of the sixth age of man, the age of the gods. If the Mayans and the computer predictions at Stanford are right, we are in for quite a shift in our world in the near future. Again, this book was written far before 2012. I'm not sure exactly the date, but yeah, I thought I'd mention that. But what does this have to do with psych-k? In an age of rapid change and information overload, how do we manage to keep up with the changes? I believe a critical factor will depend on our ability to process information in such a way that we can not only survive the accelerating rate of change, but also thrive in it. The key to processing more effectively is learning to use both hemispheres of the brain. As you are aware from previous chapters, this capability is an underlying principle and positive side effect of using the psych-k belief change processes. Why is whole brain thinking so important? One answer lies in a groundbreaking book, The Awakened Mind. Authors C. Maxwell Cade and Nona Coxhead studied the brainwave patterns of more than 3,000 subjects using a sophisticated EEG, electroencephalogram type device called Mind Mirror, which was developed to measure amplitude, magnitude, and frequency levels of both hemispheres of the brain independently and simultaneously. Here is a particularly revealing conclusion from the book. From the aforementioned studies of the brainwave patterns of some 3,000 pupils, as well as swamis, yogis, Zen masters, healers, mediums, and clairvoyants, it has become impossible to establish that all the unusual abilities that some people are able to manifest, self-control of pain and healing, healing others, telepathy, etc., are associated with changes in the EEG pattern toward a more bilateral, symmetrical, and integrated form. No better definition of a whole brain state could be articulated. This increased capacity to operate out of both sides of the brain equally, producing higher levels of functioning, is a key to thriving during the high-speed changes occurring now and in the future. I think I am interested in looking into that book further. I'm going to highlight it. 1 second, guys. Did it do it? No, it did not. 1 second. Sorry, guys. Highlight it. Sorry, guys. 1 second. Okay, it did. Okay. All right. Other studies show that a variety of brain functions are augmented when the two hemispheres operate in an integrated whole brain manner. Once again, author Christopher M. Bach sums up the point. When the brain's hemispheres are phase-locked and work as one, a number of known benefits result, including heightened awareness, improved recall, more self-programming flexibility, and heightened creativity. In short, super-learning. From here it is a simple, if substantial step to recognize that our individual brains are neuron clusters within the large species brain of humanity. Our individual mind fields are cells within the sacred mind. When a number of minds come together and integrate their individual capacities, it is as though they become phase-locked in ways analogous to how individual neurons become phase-locked in hemispherically synchronized brain states. A controlling factor in human interactions seems to be the whole brain, hemispherically synchronized state. A study reported in 1988 in the International Journal of Neuroscience by researchers at the Universidad Nacional Autónoma de Mexico suggests that synchronized brain states significantly influence nonverbal communication. The study was done with 13 paired subjects. The subjects were tested in a darkened and soundproof Faraday cage, a lead-lined screen chamber that filters out all outside electromagnetic activity. Each pair of subjects was instructed to close their eyes and try to communicate by becoming aware of the other's presence and to signal the experimenter when they felt it had occurred. The brainwave states of the subjects were monitored during the process. Experimenters reported that during the sessions, an increase in similarity of EEG brainwave patterns between the pairs of communicators developed. Furthermore, the experimenters noticed the subject with the highest concordance, hemispheric integration, was the one who most influenced the session. In other words, the EEG pattern of the individual with less synchrony between the brain hemispheres would come to resemble the EEG pattern of the person whose two sides more closely resembled each other. So I guess what they're saying is that if you're working out of two hemispheres in your brain, your ability to shape the energetic flows of others who are not quite using both hemispheres to the same level is greater. So these conclusions support the allegation that our thoughts, even non-verbally expressed, can influence others. In fact, the more whole-brained we become, the more we influence others toward that state of being as well. As the comedian Lily Tomlin put it, we're all in this together by ourselves. In light of this understanding, using psych-k whole brain integration techniques can be characterized as an act of enlightened self-interest. Next time you get on a commercial jetliner, pay particular attention to the pre-flight orientation. Without being aware of it, the flight attendant is reminding you of a profound spiritual principle when he or she says, in case of an unexpected change in cabin pressure, an oxygen mask will drop down from above. Put your mask on before trying to help others. By taking responsibility for our own psyches and our own lives, we are contributing to the whole of humanity. When you change yourself, you change the world. Okay. Is that the last of it? Oh, that's the end of the book. Okay. All right, guys. So that is the end of Psych-K, the missing piece in your life. I think that was a really good book. I'm going to look into the recommended book that they said. Let's see, what was it called? It's called The Awakened Mind by author C. Maxwell Cade and Nona Coxhead. Okay, I'm going to look into it. If it's something I'm interested in reading, I may have it be the next book I read on this channel. I'll let you know. But I will come back hopefully later this week with a new book, and I'll start reading that. But that does conclude Psych-K. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope you enjoyed it and got something out of it. I did, but, keeping in mind a few of those frustrations. But I think just even having your, dipping your toe into the possibility of the human mind, even if you don't have the full picture, because, they want you to do it in person, is something, of value. Okay, so maybe this Awakened Mind book will give a little bit more information. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. All right, guys, I'll see you in a few days.